Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let's come into a comfortable place on your mats and begin to just settle your body down into the earth. Maybe you invite your eyes to close if you're comfortable with that, or you take a soft gaze to a non-moving point in front of you. Let your body be at ease and let the position itself that you've taken become balanced between a certain sense of alertness and a sense of softening and opening and relaxation. So that you find this place in the middle, this place of soft openness, yet balanced with an alertness so that you're not checking out, you're not like leaving the moment. I'm learning that in the Yoga Sutras, ancient yogic text, there is a recipe for, from the yogic standpoint, for having mind states that are more helpful, skillful mind states. Same in Buddhism. And there are mind states that cause suffering. And it's a matter of noticing these mind states and then maybe making a choice and asking the question, is this skillful or helpful right now? So we use the yogic practice to develop a certain sense of discipline to come back and direct attention towards what is skillful. So taking breaths in and breaths out, just notice the place where your in-breath begins and where the in-breath ends and the out-breath begins. And begin to release tension from the body by maintaining focus on that in-breath and the out-breath. It starts to happen automatically. You can just track the breath, where it begins. And you can hold the breath in a tender way so that you're not efforting in the breath. And the cultivation of this paying attention on purpose, following the in-breath and the out-breath, helps us in learning to direct our attention to first notice where our attention is and maybe redirect it to something more helpful. And that's not to say that we would bypass difficult thoughts or emotions, but we work skillfully to help the situation. Deep in breath, long out breath. One more time. Beautiful. Now start to rub your palms together. If you are lying down, you can kind of start to make your way up into a seated position. And as you place your hands at the heart center, just notice the hands and the kind of touch of the hands. Just bring all your attention to the feel of the palms. Notice how when the mind is focused on a particular thing and fully immersed in it, there's just a little bit more connection and peace. And we open the practice together with this sound of Om, first taking a cleansing breath, letting it go. Inhale. Beautiful. Let's start standing up today. Come into a standing position. And begin to sense your feet on the ground. Lift and separate your toes and imagine that you have sands beneath your feet and that you're kind of, when you drape the toes down, that you're kind of digging into the sand and feeling every single part of your foot. Kind of digging into the sand. Let your body just come home to ground. And the body likes the ground. It likes the sense of rootedness. Good. Let your hands kind of rest alongside your body. Feel your fingertips radiating energy, sensation. And then reach your arms overhead with an in-breath. On the out-breath, sink down into a chair pose, reaching your arms back. Inhale in chair pose. And exhale into a standing position, Tadasana. Do it again. Inhale, two arms overhead. Exhale, sink down. Inhale in chair pose. And exhale, Tadasana. Now the next time that you reach the arms up, maybe you come up onto your tippy toes. Notice how you have to be super present to hold this. Sinking down for the out breath. Inhaling in your chair pose. And exhaling Tadasana. Let's do that 5 more times on your own. Be really mindful of the coming up and the sensation and the focus. In and out. In and out. Again. 2 more. Last time. Nice. Shake it up a little bit, get into your wrists. Shake up your legs. And then squat down to bring your elbows on your thighs. And see if you can kind of let the torso be soft and relaxed. Keep awareness of the ground, this earth energy through the feet. Feel the density in your legs. And let's take a couple of opening towards the right into a twist. Inhale, reaching your right arm up. Exhale, release it down and flow it back and forth. In and out. In and out. 2 more times. Good. Once you come back to the center, relax your neck, shake your head a little, and then take it to the other side. Opening through with the in. And releasing out. Three more times. Good. Slowly rise back up. Take your arms overhead with the in-breath. And on the out-breath, find some side bending, side to side. You might keep the hands connected if you like that, or you can release the arms. Nice. Now take a few kind of shoulder circles. And as you reach your arms overhead, make some wrist circles. And then regain awareness of your feet as you reach your arms overhead. Breath in. On the breath out, bow, hinge from the hips, forward fold. In a halfway lift. Out, plant your palms and step back into a plank pose. Take your time to solidify your plank for the in-breath. The first version of your Chaturanga Dandasana, you can release the knees as you lower halfway, then all the way to the ground. Inhale, baby cobra, open your heart. And exhale, press yourself back up to your downward facing dog. Feel the elongation of the spine. Maybe you like to pedal the feet a little. And after a few motions, come to stillness and notice what happens when you come to stillness. Notice the habit of the mind, that wandering habit of the mind, and bring it back to focus, bring it back to the breath. And keep it simple, back to the breath. Beautiful. Bend your knees a lot. Press your hips back. Inhale. On the exhale, walk forward, stepping maybe the right foot first and the left, forward fold. Feel the feet fully connected as you rise all the way up. Inhale. On the exhale, bow, forward fold. In a halfway lift. Out, step back, one leg at a time to your plank. Solidify the plank. Second version is to come down halfway without releasing the knees if you wish. Coming to your upward facing dog as you inhale. Back to your downward facing dog as you exhale. Another full breaths in and out. So I'm not quite sure about the exact percentage, but I believe about like at least 95% or 90% of our thoughts are repetitive, and about 80 or so percent are negative. So you can see the predicament if we let the mind kind of do its thing. Beautiful. Reach the right leg up towards the sky with the inhale. The exhale, bring your knee towards your chest, curl it. Inhale, lengthen it back. On the exhale, step forward into your warrior one. Back heel dials down, you open your heart and rise all the way up, breath in. On the breath out to your warrior two. Flipping the front hand as you reverse your warrior, inhale. On the exhale, bringing yourself back down to your plank, taking your version of your Chaturanga Dandasana all the way back to your downward facing dog. There is an option to skip the Chaturanga altogether, straight to down dog. And there's another option to take some push-ups in between to fire it up, depending on what you need. Left leg rises up, inhale. Exhale, knee to the chest, curl it. Inhale, lengthen back. Exhale, knee to chest, step forward, warrior one. Set up the feet first. Use your core to rise, breath in. On the breath out, warrior two. Inhale and reverse it. Exhale, cartwheeling hands all the way through to downward facing dog. Deep in breath, long out breath. So as this big percentage of the thought patterns are repetitive and negative, we are told by the Yoga Sutras, which is a great news, that we are actually able to pay attention and to redirect the mind. Let's do this one more time, reaching the right leg up in breath. Out breath, knee to chest, curl. One more time, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, step forward, warrior one. Rise all the way up, breath in. And breath out, warrior two. Flip the front palm, relax your shoulders, reverse it. On the exhale, come back through either to down dog or vinyasa through. Left leg rises up, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Again. And warrior one. Strong connection with the ground. Root down before you reach. Breath in. On the out, open it up. Taking your way into a reverse warrior. Inhale. As you exhale, cartwheel it through. Down dog or vinyasa. Keep your mind in check by returning attention to the breath. Two more breaths. Nice. Take your right leg to the sky in breath. This time bend the knee to dial the hip open. Keep your weight in that front hand, right hand really active. As you square the hips, inhale. With the exhale, bring the knee to the chest, curl it, and step it forward for your crescent lunge. Rising up, take it in, and out. Take your right hand to your right hip and externally rotate it back as you hinge forward from the hips, hovering over your front thigh. Take it in together and out together. As you take a twist towards the right now, take your right wrist or right forearm up and over your right thigh and open up to the side, maybe reaching your right arm up, maybe not. Feel the twist happen from the mid-back and activate the arm against the leg and vice versa. See how that helps you twist a little. One more in breath. On the out breath, return to the center. Dial the back heel down for your warrior two. As you stand here in your warrior two, make some wrist circles to give your wrists a little bit of loosening up in both directions. Then as you expand the arms apart, alternate between reversing the triangle so that you're extending your front leg and reversing it into a reverse triangle and a side angle lunge. And make this your own, back and forth, going back and forth, mindfully rooting down through the feet, keeping the attention on the breath and how the breath is linking with each movement. Two more. When you finally come into a side angle lunge, stay here for a couple of breaths and notice where your body is held in tension. And see if you can find the places that need to be engaged and soften the places that don't. One more deep in breath. On the out breath, return to that reverse triangle. Stay here for another in breath. Then cartwheel the hands through. Stepping back into a three-legged dog and deciding if you want to flip your dog here as you open up through the hip. As you return back to the center, downward facing dog, hold the breath in and the breath out for a few moments, letting the body readjust and regain access to that focus, that paying attention on purpose. And if the downward dog becomes too intense for you, you know that you can always bring your knees down to the ground and be in table pose instead, arching and curling. And we'll take it to the other side as the left leg slowly rises up. Bend the knee to dial the hip open, holding here. Active in both shoulders equally. Square the hips with the in-breath. Out-breath, knee to chest. Step it to your crescent. Rising up with intention, with focus. Take your left hand to your left hip, drawing it back a little, and elongate forward, hinging with a long spine. For 3, 2, and 1, proceeding into your twist and allowing the feet to keep pressing into the mat, stretching it apart as you gain that twist from the mid-back. For 3, 2, 1, returning back to the center with the in-breath, the out-breath, dialing the back heel down for warrior 2. Circle the wrists again. Notice the place in your shoulders where you might be holding tension. Relax it a little. And reverse, elongating the front leg. Breath in. On the breath out, start to alternate, coming through side angle. Back and forth a few times. And the breath is steady. The breath is spacious. The feet are rooting down. One last time. Breath in. On the breath out, a side angle and a hold. Again, finding that place in between effort and ease. Your body will know. For 3, 2, 1. Come back to the center. Reverse it and breathe in. On the breath out, take it down into a 3-legged dog. Curling the back toes under and extending through the left leg, maybe opening up through the hip for a flip dog. Coming back through to your downward facing dog. And resettling your focus into the breath. And then there becomes this gentle guidance to the mind, like a little toddler, like you would do to a toddler that's just kind of forgetting where they're at and they're just kind of roam. You just gently guide it back. Oh, we're here now and we are doing this now. Very gently. It's not a harsh redirection. It just forgets, that's all. Beautiful. Bend your knees a lot, press your hips back, look forward. Inhale here with the exhale, walk or float forward into a forward fold. And as you arrive, coming into a deeper fold, maybe by either taking your fingertips or full hand under your feet and drawing the elbows sideways, or grabbing a hold of the big toes with the first two fingers. The breath is patient and gentle, and the body is letting go of tension, finding that place in between effort and ease. Slowly release the hands. Come into a chair pose as you squat down, draw the hips back, and lift the chest. Keeping your arms at shoulder length is more comfortable for me, but if it feels good to you to reach them up, and that's how you like your chair, that's okay too. Feel the intensity here and the fire building up in the core and in the legs. Pull the navel in and up, and keep your shoulders relaxed. Take an in-breath. As you rise all the way up onto your tippy toes, stay focused. You might have to look at a point on the ground for a drishti. And on the way back down, sink back like we did at the beginning of class. Inhale for chair. And exhale, Tadasana. Do it again, nice and slow, keeping your attention on a point of focus, drishti. Exhale, sink down. In and out. Last time. Good job. Now let's come into a balanced pose on the right leg. Shift your weight into your right leg. Take your left tippy toe on the ground and just rotate outwards through the hips a couple of times. And then slowly lift your left knee off the ground, balancing through here. And twist towards your left. Stay fully rooted in that right leg. Potentially taking a hold of your left thigh with your right hand. And as you twist from the mid-back again, maybe reaching the left arm back. Come back to the center. And transition into airplane pose, lengthening the left leg back. Hands can stay at the heart. For 3, 2, 1. Land in your crescent and bring your right hand to your thigh and left arm up. Root down a little more into your feet before you reach a little higher up. And then take it again into a twist. This time, make it your own version of the twist, the one that you like best. You might take your elbows up and over if that's the one you like, or you might bring your left hand to the block or to the ground and open up. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back through to the center and dial the back heel down to come into Warrior 2 on the other side now. You're facing the back of the room in your Warrior 2. So your left leg is bent. Do what Corina's doing. The left leg is bent and you're extending those arms through. And now we'll flip the left hand and reverse the warrior. As you return back to the center, come into a triangle pose, elongating the left leg. And feeling into the connection with the ground. Directing attention to the breath. For 3, 2, and 1. Come back up to the center and make your way into a wide-legged forward fold. Situate your feet accordingly before you bow forward into a forward fold. Let your heart melt down while you fully activate those feet into the earth. Finding the patience in between the in-breath and the out-breath. And the patience with the wandering mind. We're going to engage the pelvic floor and come up into a halfway lift. Bend the knees slightly and rise all the way up with a strong, long spine. Once you arrive there, come back into Warrior 2 facing me. Then take your way all the way through into a runner lunge. That right leg is bent, left leg is elongated. Slowly walk the back foot forward, dial the back heel down like you're coming into Warrior 1, and rise all the way up. Breath in. That's the challenge with that position over there. Let the arms interlace behind the back. Open through the chest. And come into a humble warrior, hinging forward, potentially reaching those arms overhead. rise back up, situate your hands on your hips, and elongate both legs to prep for your Parshvottanasana, hinging from your hips for a revolved triangle. So you situate your left hand on the ground, maybe taking it up and over that front foot. Maybe it's on a block or on a water bottle, and start to twist. For 3, 2, and 1. Returning back to the center. Walk the back foot forward into a forward fold and rise all the way up to stand. Deep breath in, long breath out. Let everything settle back to the ground. Notice your heart rate. Steady it down. And then also imagine that you're a glass of water with sand stirred up in it. And imagine that sand descending down to the base of the glass, clearing the water. Focused attention. Spacious breath. Soft hands. Good. Once everything feels settled, we're ready to take another balance pose. So shift your weight into the left foot, nice and slow. Take your knee sideways, back and forth. And then start to get ready to lift that foot off the ground. Nice and gentle and easy. Not an abrupt lift. And then taking your twist towards the right. Maybe taking the left hand up and over the thigh. Keeping your gaze on something steady. So if you look down on the ground a bit further from you, there's the opportunity to focus on something that's not moving. Come back to the center. The palms come together right away. This helps us remain kind of hugged into the midline. Then transition into your airplane. Notice where the body is holding tension and work with it. For 3, 2, 1. Land the foot back for a crescent. Place your left hand on your thigh, right arm reaches up. Root down a little more, reach it a little higher. And then take it into your favorite twist. I might have to walk my back foot back a little more to readjust. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to the center. Dial the back heel down to open it up for your warrior 2 on the other side. So you're going to face the back of the room. Yes, and it's confusing because I'm not doing the same thing as you. So don't look at me. Look at Corina. Good. Let's reverse that warrior with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, find your triangle pose. There is patience in the breath. There is a redirecting of attention to the breath. One more in-breath. And on the out-breath, come on back up to center. Taking your heels in, toes out for goddess pose. And find goalpost arms. Now start to activate the upper back muscles and the chest muscles by bringing the elbows towards one another and opening back up. In and out. Ujjayi breath in and out. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax your arms on your thighs. Relax your shoulders. Deep in breath. And out breath. Nice. Turn towards the me. Towards the me. Turn towards me now. And come into warrior one. We're just going to skip the whole shebang in between because that's where we're ultimately getting. Left foot is forward. Good. And from warrior one, we'll start to extend both legs, potentially walking that back foot a little bit more forward and getting it to face a bit more forward so that the hips are facing forward. And from here, start to come down, preparing for your revolved triangle, coming through your Parshvottanasana pyramid pose. The feet are active in the ground, stretching the mat apart. The left hip is drawing back. For 3, 2, and 1. Return back to the center. And walk the back foot forward, forward fold. Slowly rise up. Breath in and breath out. We'll take it into dancer pose. Shift your weight into your right leg. Find a quad stretch with the left. You can either grab the outside of the ankle or the inside, stabilizing the pelvis. Reach the right arm up, work here, or extend your left leg back. As you hinge forward, there is this traction between the two. 3, 2, 1. Opening up, left arm up, right hand down, and grabbing a hold of the ankle. Releasing the tension from the body before transitioning forward or working where you are. For 3, 2, 1. Come back through. Do it again on each side on your own terms. Work step by step. The gaze is steady. The breath is spacious. The eyes are focused. Nice job. One more balanced pose, tree. Take your time to shift your weight into your right leg, either situating the foot on the ankle or raising the leg onto the shin or a bit higher. The palms start at heart space. Notice the touch of the palms. Notice that place where both palms are touching. And keep your gaze on a point of focus on the ground, so steady. Open up the arms, in breath. Out breath. Notice if you're hugging too tight into your bones. Reach the arms overhead. And palms back to heart space. Going to the other side without rushing into anything. There's beauty in this step-by-step, mindful movement, placement of attention, steadily. Opening the arms to the side. Reach your arms overhead. And palms come back to heart space. And release. Yay. Shake it up a little. Let's come on down. Maybe a drink of water if you wish. Let's do this. Let's come on down into a seated position. Bring the soles of the feet together. Let the hands, to begin with, rest behind the back. Now feeling that settling down to the ground. Feeling how that water is clearing. Inviting the sand to the bottom of the glass. That's from the Tao Te Ching, that visual. And once you've found that place where you feel settled, at ease, you might take a little bit of a forward fold here. For me, it doesn't feel great on my hips, so I will avoid it. Another option, if it doesn't feel great on the hips, is to walk the feet a bit more forward. And then there's more of a release around the hips to fold a bit. Come on out of the pose. And take your legs to the outside edges of the mat. And start to turn the entire bottom of the body towards the right as you twist, reaching to the back. So that left hip lifts, like turns, the whole leg turns. Yes, let the whole leg turn. Here we go. Come back to the center and do it on the other side. And you might have to do it nice and slow to begin with, and over time it starts to loosen up. Do it again. Good. One last time on each side. Let's come on into a reclined position on our bellies. You can cross the feet and come on down onto your belly to find Sphinx pose. Let the elbows plant under the shoulders, situating them apart enough. And then you're activating the shoelace sides of the feet so that even the pinky toes are on the ground fully. Engage your pelvic floor muscles, Mula Bandha. Then engage that belly lock, Uddiyana Bandha. Navel pulls in and up. And then find that final bandha, that Jalandhara Bandha, which is a chin lock, where you draw your sternum forward, but then pull that chin towards the chest. Slowly release and relax. Maybe rocking hips side to side. Find out what your upper back and your chest are holding on to and just let it go. And then let's take it into either a Sphinx pose again, or we're going to take it in a bow pose. So you'll let your lowermost ribs lower down and bend both knees to grab a hold of the ankles. Keep your neck long, your gaze down, and then press back with the feet to lift the chest. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Slowly flip over onto your backs. And start to prep to come into a bridge pose. The feet rest under the knees. The arms alongside the torso. Active arms as you slowly press up. Isometrically, I can't even say that. Isometrically pressing backwards with the heels. Heels draw back a bit. For 5, keep active in the arms. 3, and 1, release slowly down. And do it again. Activate the feet into the ground, heels press down, hips lift. Active forearms in the ground, feet rooted. Breath is spacious. And slowly release back down. Now take your right ankle, cross it up and over your left thigh. And pull your left knee up towards the chest, interlacing the hands behind the thigh. This is a reclined pigeon. If you'd prefer a different version of pigeon, now is your time to get into it. So as we follow that recipe that is suggested in the Yoga Sutra of taking a posture that is a balance between effort and ease, and inviting tension to release from the body, and beginning to pay attention on purpose. Directing attention to what's here now. All of a sudden, we have more and more access to the subtle experience. And with that subtle experience, there is the sense of connection. Our breath becomes spacious. And as the body lets go of tension, the mind also can relax. And slowly switch to the other side. Actually, before you do that, plant your left foot under your left knee and extend your right leg up to the sky. If you're in a different pigeon, you can maybe just do this by going into downward dog if that's easier to get to. Elongating one leg back in down dog. And then start to release that leg slowly down to the ground, active in the sacrum. Lower back is pressed down firmly. Foot is flexed. And you're very, very, very slowly elongating that right leg and dropping it at the same time. Good. Release both legs and relax. And bend the knees again and come into your reclined pigeon on the other side. Soothing breath, soothing ground. Redirecting the mind back to focus in a gentle way. Beginning to establish skillful habits. That's all. They're all just habits. Skillful habits of mind versus habits of mind that create suffering. Taking your time to release the right foot and then under the right knee, extend the left leg. And flex the foot, toes to shin. as you slowly release that leg as slowly as you can, all the way down to the ground. Nice. Let your body fully relax back down in Shavasana. If your body feels like doing anything else before settling in stillness, give it permission to do so. Now as you settle there, invite attention to move from the breath and the ground to the sounds around you. Just let it expand a bit. Go more outward versus inward. Simply exploring what hearing is like, the sensation of hearing. Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodaya Om Bhurvuvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Dhiyo yo na prachodaya Take a deep in breath and let it go. Gently allow your bodies to return back to the felt experience of sensation and movement. And roll over onto your side. Resting. And eventually rising back to stillness in seated position. As you bring hands to heart space, bring your attention to the way that the palms are touching. And soften your heart. Soften your demeanor. Maybe softening our inner gaze. And as we bow together to the silence behind all sounds and permeating all sounds, may all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be free from suffering. And may we, in some way, contribute to this cause. Closing with the sound of Om, cleansing breath. Inhale. I thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you.